If you're watching this video, you're thinking about moving to Addison, Illinois, here in the Chicagoland area. This is out in the western suburbs. So I wanted to start off here at Village Hall because this is called Friendship Plaza. It's a very nice place to hang out. It's also a place where you're going to come when you actually have to set up your water account when you finally move into the village of Addison. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you around different neighborhoods, show you around different houses so you can get a feel for the area and see what kind of fits into your budget. If this is your first time to this channel, I want you to subscribe below, click on get notifications, and send me a message if you like. I want to be able to tell you about the latest and greatest things that are happening here in Addison, a suburb of the Chicagoland area. My name is Henry Vasquez. I'm with House Select Realty and I'm the designated managing broker. We get calls from people like you and emails from people like you that are looking to move into the Chicagoland area, and we love it. Whether you're moving in 7 days or 7 weeks, please send me a message, give me a call, send me an email, send me a text. We'd love to help, and I'd love to show you around. So what we're going to do is we're going to drive around Addison today so you can see the areas that we've chosen, and you can get a pretty good idea of what it is to be here in Addison, Illinois. And hopefully one of these days I get to show you around personally. Okay, so here we are at house number 1. This is a house that's listed for $410,000. It's a split level home built in 1969. It does have 3 bedrooms with 2.5 baths, so it does have a master suite. Now this one's interesting because it also has a 4th bedroom in the lower level, and it also has what's called a sub-basement. Now a sub-basement, very popular here in the Midwest with split levels, is an area that's below the main area of the house. So if you walk in that front door, you basically have your living room, dining room, and kitchen, and then you have a doorway going down to what is basically a partial basement. And then you have another door that takes you down to the sub-basement. Now some people use it for storage, other people use it for entertainment areas, but for the most part, it's there to do whatever it is that you want it to do. It has a 2-car garage. This one has an updated kitchen, and it's very well kept. So like I said, it was built in 1969. It's roughly 2,900 square feet. This one is, again, priced at $410,000, so that gives you an idea what $400,000 can get you here in Addison. Now, we're in a cul-de-sac, so I'm going to kind of turn around so you can see the other houses in the cul-de-sac. So people that are coming here are probably not going to be coming here just for any random reason. They have a reason to be here, so there's some privacy. To give you an idea of where we're at, just on the other side or behind that house or behind the set of houses that's behind this one is Army Trail Road. Just to mention about this house being built in 1969, this house has a lot of the mechanicals already updated. You have a newer roof, you've got a newer HVAC, windows, so a lot of the important things, so you don't really have to worry about those kind of maintenance items by moving into here. And so what I'm going to do from here on out, I'm going to drive around the neighborhood so you can get an idea what the neighborhood looks like. And we'll see you at house number 2. Okay, so here we are at house number 2. This house was built in 1988. It is listed for $599,900. It has 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. So it does have a master suite. As far as this particular model goes, it does have what's called a sub-basement. Now what a sub-basement is, it's a basement that is below the main level of the house. So with this being a split level home, you come in to the front door, you'll see the living room on one side, and that living room underneath it is going to have what's called a sub-basement. And that area you access by going down the stairs into the lower level, and then that lower level have another door to take you down to a sub-basement. This agent's kind of calling it an area where you can actually, you know, do some type of home entertainment, like a small theater. So that's great for that. And it's a common thing to do here in the Midwest with some of these split level homes that have sub-basements. Now, to give you an idea what the neighborhood kind of looks like, I'm going to kind of pan around so you can see. You have some homes that were built right around the same time, with some other homes that may be a little bit newer, but for the most part, this particular area is right around that mid-80s through mid-90s circa. You do have some homes that are built that are newer. And this particular area of Addison is an area that is between Lake Street to the south and 290 to the north. Now you would think, because we're so close to 290 being in a major highway, you would probably see, or hear, excuse me, you'd probably hear some traffic, but in all reality, I don't hear a whole lot. And this is a very quiet, very nice area. People really enjoy this part of town. And to give you an idea of where it's at, on Lake Street has a lot of commerce. So it has your typical banks, your restaurants. You do have Marcus Theater that's over on just the other side of this, to the south of Lake Street. But there is a lot to do here. So most of it's within walking distance. If you want to drive, you can, but for the most part, you don't necessarily have to. But that's what you get here in this area for $599,900. So now we're going to go take a look at the next house, and we'll see you there. Okay, so here's the last house on our tour. Now I wanted to bring you guys to this, let's call it neck of the woods, no pun intended. But this area is very unique to Addison. This area here is in a very highly wooded area, and I'll show you around a little bit so you can see the types of homes that are here. But you're going to see a lot of much newer homes. This particular home is listed for $750,000. It is a 5-bedroom, 4-bath with a full basement, completely renovated on the inside, and it is also built in 1964. So it has very modern stuff on the inside. So this would be more along the lines of what you would get for $750,000 in this area. However, I do want to mention that this particular area has a lot of much newer homes that were built in the 2000s or newer, and they are going to be more expensive than $750,000. So if you're looking for something that is in that 800 to $1 million plus, this is probably the area where you're going to find it in Addison. And you'll see a few houses in just a second, but this, like I said, is built in 1964. Listed for $750,000, and very nice home, very well done on the inside. It's also in an unincorporated area of Addison, so you don't have any sidewalks here, and the streets are a little smaller. I wanted to bring you to the other side of the property so you can see what it kind of looks like. This is a very big lot. As a matter of fact, I think it's 3 separate lots. So you can see how big this property is, and you can see how wooded it is around you. So I'm going to kind of pan around here so you can see a lot of woodsy space. Right behind me is kind of an example of what I was talking about earlier about some of the newer homes here. These homes are probably going to be higher than $750,000. They're probably going to be closer to the $1 million range, if not more. But that gives you an idea of what you get in this particular neighborhood. Now, as I drive out of this area, I'm going to be videotaping some of the areas so you can see what types of homes are back here. But if you're looking for that higher end home, this place being probably the highest end in Addison, you're going to see a lot of very nice homes, and this is probably the area where you would definitely want to take a look at. But this was an example of a home for $750,000, not the one behind me, but the one that I was showing you. Built in 1964. Not a very clear picture at this point, but this gives you an idea of what you can get for $750,000 here in Addison. There are other homes in the Addison area you can get for roughly about that price, but I wanted to show this area because it's a very exclusive area. It's in an unincorporated area, which also means that probably most homes are going to have what's called well and septic. And so if you're not familiar with well and septic, basically it's its own self-contained system. The well is the well water, where you would probably have some type of filtration, and the septic system is for, you know, the human waste. And it's going to have its own way of dispersing it. So, but here it is. So I think we're done for our tour for today, and we're going to go do a summary of today's activities, and I'll talk to you soon. So watch the following video, because I'm going to show you around this neighborhood so you can see what the houses look like. Maybe an area of interest for you, especially if you're looking at 800 to $1 million or more. All right, now we're back at my office, and I want to kind of summarize the houses that we went through today so that you can get a refreshed idea of what we saw. Also, I want to talk to you a little bit about Addison itself and give you some ideas of where it lies relative to some important areas in the Chicagoland area. So the first house was listed for $410,000. It was built in 1969. It has 3 bedrooms with 1 in the basement. It was roughly about 2,900 square feet. And I believe that probably includes some of the finished basement. And this was just south of Army Trail Road, which lies right around the central part of Addison. Now, the second home we went to go see was in the northern part of Addison, listed for $599,900. And that property was a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, built in 1988 with 2,400 square feet. Also had a partial basement, and I believe it also had a sub-basement. And this property is in an area where most of the homes are roughly about that 1980 through 1990 circa. You do have a few newer homes built in there, but for the most part, that is a house that was built in that era. And the third house we went to go see was in the far eastern side of Addison, actually split from the rest of Addison by I-290, and that property was listed for $750,000. Beautiful property in the interior, very well done. It also was sitting on a lot that had, actually it was 3 separate lots. But the interesting part about that particular property was that it was in an area where there's a lot of much newer homes that are built there, and the lots are significantly bigger, so the homes are also going to be bigger. This home, to get back to it, was 5 bedrooms, 4 full bathrooms, roughly about 3,659 square feet. And like I said, it was in an area that is mostly forest area, unincorporated, so you're going to have well and septic over there, and there are no sidewalks. And the streets are fairly narrow, but there's so much to, if you want to park, you're going to be able to park on the property itself, because the properties are usually bigger than what you would find in the other side of Addison. So this is where you would find more of those luxury homes that maybe some of you are looking for, that could be in that 800, 900 million plus range. So even though I didn't highlight any of those in the tour today, I did show you some of those homes as we were driving by, and also when I was doing the actual view of the home that we saw over there on that side of town. So now we're going to talk a little bit about Addison. Now, Addison has a population of roughly 35,702 people, and that was based on the 2020 census. It's about 20 miles due west, or excuse me, 22 miles due west of the Chicagoland area, or I should say the downtown area of Chicago, and that's about a 32-minute drive if you take 290 straight out to Addison. Now, another interesting point is that to the northeast of the property, or northeast of town of Addison, you have O'Hare Airport. And O'Hare Airport is about a 20-minute drive from Addison. So it's fairly close. So those of you that need to travel, Addison is a wonderful place to be because it's so close to O'Hare Airport. So it wouldn't take you long to actually get there driving, or if you took an Uber, or if you just had somebody pick you up and drop you off. So it's a very convenient place to be. Now, there are 2 main roads that go through Addison. The first one is Lake Street, which lies in the north end of Addison, and then you've got North Avenue and Army Trail, which Army Trail goes through the middle part of Addison, and North Avenue is on the far south end of Addison. Now on Lake Street, to give you kind of an idea, Lake Street has a lot of shopping. You have a lot of smaller boutique shops, you have smaller restaurants, taco places, McDonald's, you have chicken places, stuff like that. And then you also have some grocery stores over there that serve different ethnic groups primarily, but again, anybody can go to those grocery stores if you have a taste for Indian food or Mexican food or any of that type of stuff. Now, you also have a Marcus Theater, which I mentioned to you earlier in the video. That's right across from that neighborhood that I was telling you about, that's walking distance. So, really nice area. You can actually walk to the movies if you wanted to. And so it's very close, so you can either walk or drive by, and I think you would enjoy it. Now, Army Trail Road goes through most of the center part of Addison. And on Army Trail Road, it's going to be mostly residential. I think you do have one shopping center there, a couple of gas stations. But their big attraction there is Army Trail High School. Addison Trail High School. And so Addison Trail is right there along Army Trail Road. Pretty big campus, pretty big school. And so that's what lies along there. And then you got in the far south end is North Avenue. Now keep in mind, North Avenue doesn't really lie within Addison, although it just skirts the outside. I do want to bring mention to it because that particular part of town also has shopping, auto shops. It's actually easy access to going east and west if you want to go out west to some of those suburbs, or go east to Chicago, although I wouldn't recommend you driving all the way to downtown Chicago from North Avenue. You could do it, but it's a lot of stoplights and stuff. And not sure if you would enjoy just the stop and go of it all. Now, I also want to make a mention that I-355 goes north-south on the west end of Addison. So you can go up to I-355 and go up to, say, Schaumburg in the northern suburbs, or take it south to the southern suburbs. You also have 290, which goes across the north end. Now, 290 is a little funny because 290 actually goes east-west further north, and then drops north-south, and then goes kind of northwest to southeast right by Addison, and then it continues its east-west route into the downtown area. So it's that northeast to southwest route that I want to kind of focus on, because that's on the north end of Addison, and that'll take you into downtown Chicago, or it'll take you up into Schaumburg and into the northern suburbs. Now, some of its neighbors, so that you can get an idea of where it's at, in case you've been looking around, to the east you have Elmhurst and Bensonville. To the south you have Villa Park and you have Lombard. And then you've got Wooddale, Itasca, and Medina over to its north. And then you've got Bloomingdale and Glendale Heights over to its west. So that's how, and that's where Addison is actually surrounded. So if you're interested in any of those other towns, I'm more than happy to show you around to those. And I just wanted to let you know where Addison lies with respect to those other towns. So that's pretty much it for Addison for today. And there's so much more we can talk about, but I wanted to give you guys a good lay of the land and show you where you are relative to some of the other important parts of the Chicagoland area. If you've lived here or currently live here in Addison, Illinois, please leave a comment below telling your experience and what you would like them to know about Addison. Now, that would be helpful, very helpful to those that are actually viewing this and thinking about moving into the area. Now, whether you are looking to move in 7 days, 7 weeks, doesn't really matter. Shoot me a text, send me an email, call me, leave a message here on this platform, and I'm more than happy to answer that question, because I would like to make your move into the Chicagoland area, and in particular Addison, as smooth as possible. So until then, I hope everybody has a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you guys around town. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.